Won't be many months and we'll be picking delicious strawberries. Is it too late in the year to be planting tulips? Made a right mess of this again. If anyone knows, it's been really slimy. If anyone knows, then please let me know. Good day and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. We just had a storm pass through the UK. Thankfully there's not been too much damage. You can see there some of the covers that were on the ground have unfortunately blown away a bit, but most things seem to still be standing. The shed is still up, which is good. Although the wind is picking up again, so hopefully it's not going to get too windy while I am down here. If you watched last week's episode, you're probably wondering what happened to the broccoli. Did it survive without the netting on it? Did the netting stay standing, or did I lose it all? Let's take a look and find out what happened. Well, the netting hasn't really stayed in place, but thankfully the broccoli seem to still be okay. They haven't been completely destroyed by slugs, and this big one, which was quite a find, is still looking really healthy. I want to be able to get this bed here finished so I can get the strawberries back in the ground. The next step is going to be to add the two ends, which is going to be half of one of these planks. So I'm going to measure that up and then cut it to size. Right, let's get rid of this part. We'll keep this because it might come in useful at another time. I made a right mess of this again. To get some more rocks. Right, this is starting to take shape. This is where it gets a bit tricky because the grapevine doesn't really allow for this to stretch. It's not easy doing this in the wind. I think that's going to do for now. One more bit over in that corner I think I need. Ended up with way too much of this stuff now. Alright, that's looking better. That's looking like it should do, I think. Yes, although we've got a couple of gaps there because it's still a bit small, but it's certainly going to protect from any pigeons for now. One of you said to use some hooks to attach the netting to, which is actually a really good idea. I think next time I'm going to try and get some and then can tie it up around there, but for now this should hold and hopefully keep these broccoli from being destroyed, because they are still looking quite good, although a little bit sluggy in some of them. My rhubarb all through here has completely died off. I'm guessing the crowns are still in there somewhere, but all the leaves have died away, so I'm going to pick these up because I don't want to attract the slugs. But I'm hoping they come back to life. I'll be sad if I've lost them. I presume that's what they do at this time of year though. If anyone knows, it's been really slimy. If anyone knows, then please let me know if there's anything I should be doing with rhubarb at this time of year. Let's try and get a bit of this tidied up again. That weed needs to be dug up really. But it does seem to be keeping the weeds at bay, which is good. Because when I first put it in the ground I thought it was going to be too light. Because you can see through it, but it's actually done a pretty good job. As long as the wind doesn't keep moving it, should be good until the spring. That rock has fallen apart. Good. I've been a little bit disappointed with the field beans. They've not done anything. Looking in the bed, I can't even see them beginning to sprout, and I'm not sure. I guess they would have needed to sprung up by this time of year unless they start early next year, but I think it's going to be too cold. So either I planted them too late or they weren't a particularly... Oh actually, well there might be one just down here. Actually there might be one or two. Tell a lie, there might be one or two in there. But I'm not sure one or two is going to achieve all the things that it said on the packet about suppressing weeds and filling the soil with nitrogen, etc. On days like this, you begin to wonder if it's all worth it. With the rain and the mud, and you're feeling quite cold, but it won't be many months and we'll be picking delicious strawberries. Right, let's try and get some of these back in the ground. I might need my bigger spade. That clump can go in there. Good, that's looking better. That's looking better already. Just grab this little one. Put that in there as well. I'll come back next week and tidy this up when the weather's a bit better, but for now they're all back in the ground. Hopefully they will settle in a bit and then I'll tidy up all the runners and everything. But this is going to be a really nice strawberry bed, or at least hopefully. In the summer, there'll be plenty of strawberries to pick. Is it too late in the year to be planting tulips? I'm not sure. I think normally we're supposed to plant them when the first frost is coming, but I planted some at home and these were left over, which is beginning to poke through. We're going to stick some in this little pot and see what happens. Hopefully in the spring they will add a bit of colour to the allotment. Let's fill this up with some soil. So I did see lots of people doing things like bulb lasagnas and all other wonderful ways of planting bulbs, but I'm just going to stick these in here. Probably get, I don't know if I'll get the whole pack in there. That one's gone mouldy, so we won't worry about that one. We'll get 4 in there. 4 like that, then cover that with soil, and those other 3 I will go and find another pot. Actually, I don't have another pot, so I'm going to find somewhere in one of these beds to put these 3 bulbs. What do we think? In the rhubarb bed? In the onion bed? Probably not in the broccoli bed. Or maybe we just stick them in the ground on the other side. How about we put them in with the field beans? As there's not much going on in this bed, we'll just stick them in here. One, 2, and 3. That'll be nice for the spring. It's just beginning to rain now, so I think I'm going to have to call it a day there, but it's been quite a productive day. I have managed to get the netting on the broccoli there. Over here we've got the strawberries that have gone back into the bed down here, which is great, and I did put the covers back on here, but they've since all blown off again. So I would normally take some Swiss chard, but I'm not going to take any today because I'm not feeling like eating any Swiss chard this week. So I'm going to leave that in the ground, see what happens to it. But thanks again for watching, and hopefully see you next week. Have an amazing week and take care.